Hi everybody, it's the Ruthless Jobber here. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 51 of A Broken Heart. It's the go home show for Halloween Havoc. It's Monday 26th of October, time for Nitro. I have booked and recorded this episode straight after I did episode 50. I am so excited for Halloween Havoc. I get like this when I'm close to booking pay-per-views. So let's just crack on, shall we? We kick off with a couple of pre-show matches. We start off with Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton taking on the Outsiders. We are getting ready to bring the Outsiders back. In a pre-show bout, they had great heat and good wrestling. The Outsiders got the win in 14 minutes 15 when Scott Hall pinned Bobby Eaton with an Outsiders edge. 71 wrestling, 69 crowd, 77 segment rating. Buff Bagwell taking on Rob Van Dam. Kind of a good place to get these guys on the show, to be honest. Didn't fit them in the main show. So we had a pre-show bout that had good heat and decent wrestling. Rob Van Dam got the win in 15 minutes 28 by pinfall with a 5-star frog splash. Wasn't anything special, but it wasn't too bad. 61 wrestling, 57 crowd, and 66 overall. And then we've got Big Van Vader taking on Roddy Piper. Pretty decent score here. Pre-show bout had great heat and good wrestling. Big Van Vader defeated Roddy Piper in 12 minutes 13 by pinfall with a Vader bomb. 70 rating for the wrestling, 67 for the crowd, 76 for the overall segment. Yeah, quite happy with that one. Again, didn't really find anywhere to fit Vader in, but let's get on with the main show, shall we? We start off with a Randy Savage announcement. And he announces tonight's main event. It will be Triple Threat. So Savage comes out and he says, there's a couple of guys that are deserving of a world title shot. Tonight, we're going to have a Triple Threat match. The winner will face whoever the champion is at next week's Nitro. So we have Chris Jericho taking on Diamond Dallas Page, taking on Eddie Guerrero. Whoever wins that match tonight will take on the winner of Bret Hart and Hollywood Hogan at Nitro following Halloween Havoc. 92 rating for this. Very pleased with that. How this storyline did not gain heat, I do not know. I don't know why it's there, actually, because, what's that? It's Diamond Dallas Page and Buff Bagwell, but Buff Bagwell wouldn't have been involved. So I'm surprised to even see it there, but if it is going to be there, how did it not gain heat after a 92 rating? Then we've got Kurt Angle. He gets his first win on TV as he faces Dean Malenko. He wins it in 10 minutes 5 seconds by submission with the ankle lock. 58 wrestling, 38 crowd, 68 overall. I'm very happy with the final score. Yeah, must have been some more stuff going on there to get a boost like that. 58 wrestling. I mean, Dean Malenko is recognisable. Kurt Angle is unimportant. I wasn't expecting anything special. We just really want to get Kurt Angle some victories on TV now, and some good ones. We want to get him over as quickly as we can. Gene Okerlund interviews La Parka. It has just been announced that La Parka will face Goldberg at Halloween Havoc, so he's just asking him about that. La Parka doesn't really have much to say, to be honest. He's not particularly looking forward to it. He knows Goldberg's reputation, but then there's a slight kind of heelish comments come out that, he's got plenty of friends who will be there for him if need be. Rating of 56. The Dudley Boys face Hammer and Shirley Doe, just a couple of our jobbers. Maybe not Hammer so much, I mean he is, but I could sort of do something with him. Shirley Doe is just an out-and-out jobber. So we had decent reaction from the crowd, subpar wrestling. The Dudleys got the win, 6 minutes 34. Devon pinned Shirley Doe with a Dudley death drop. Shirley Doe was the weak link. Didn't really think anything else, to be honest. Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley showed excellent chemistry. When I first saw that, I thought it said Shirley Doe, and I was expecting that to say Hammer and Shirley Doe. No chance. 46 wrestling, 37 crowd, 58 for the match. Gorilla Monsoon introduces some promos from four of our guys, or I should say 5 really, because one of them's a tag team. They're sort of just self promos, but they're trying to help Halloween. They're trying to hype Halloween Havoc. sell a few extra tickets, sell a few extra, pay-per-view buys, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's just sort of promoting Halloween Havoc, and I thought, why not get all these guys on the card, sort of properly. So we've got Bam Bam Bigelow, Goldberg, Sting, and the team of Kurt Hennig and Lex Luger. Totally perfect. Yeah, not bad really. 77 overall. Quite pleased with that. Plenty of green as well. Lance Storm takes on Mortis. This is another example that we did with the last show, where tag team wrestlers are going to be taking a little bit more. They're going to have more singles action and want to get Lance Storm over. Mortis was kind of at the right position and hadn't been used yet on the card. So he unfortunately takes the loss. But we've got a decent match. Lance Storm got the win in 9 minutes 24 by countout. 55 wrestling, 35 crowd, 63 overall. We're not getting great scores at the moment, but this is one of those shows where we're just trying to get a few of the undercard over a little bit, and we're using the main stars just in angles to really hype that Halloween Havoc. Gorilla Monsoon and Randy Savage are backstage in the studio, and they just hype a couple of matches for Halloween Havoc, or they sort of announce a couple of matches. Sting will take on Eddie Guerrero at Halloween Havoc, and our new team, Mysterio X, I've decided to call them. It's Rey Mysterio and Six. Mysterio X will team with Chris Benoit to take on Mortis, Wrath, and the Demon. The Latino World Order and Sting storyline advanced and gained heat with this one in a rating of 77. Chris Benoit takes on Sid Vicious, so we had great heat, decent wrestling. Sid Vicious got the win in 14 minutes 2 seconds by pinfall with a powerbomb. This was our storytelling match. Wanted to get Sid on the card. He had a pre-show match in the last episode, and we wanted to get him sort of properly on the show with a victory here. Not bad, 70 either. I'm okay with that. 61 for the wrestling, 64 crowd, and 70 overall. And then we've got a few more sort of Halloween Havoc promos. So we've got Booker T and Chris Jericho cutting promos. They'll be facing each other. The part 2, sorry, because I did do this in 3 parts. Part 2 is Big Van Vader and the Giant cutting promos on each other in preparation for their match. And then Bret Hart and Hollywood Hogan cut promos on each other ahead of their match. 75 rating overall. And then Mysterio X are in action. They take on Bart Sawyer and Lodi, just in a token tag team match, really. Didn't have much heat, terrible wrestling. Mysterio X defeated Bart Sawyer and Lodi in 9 minutes 8 seconds when Six pinned Lodi with a super kick. And this was a high spots match, actually. Maybe that's what let it down. I thought I'd give it a go with Rey Mysterio and Six. Obviously, maybe Bart Sawyer and Lodi can't cope with that. I don't know. Probably not the only thing that dinged the rating. I mean, we can see here, Six only got a 56 rating. Lodi got a 10. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen anything that low before for an individual performance. And Bart Sawyer didn't do much better with 23. Okay. Yeah, so we've got 40 wrestling, 33 crowd, 57 overall. In a taped angle, it's just a self-promo from Royalty. Wanted to get them on the card. Yeah, I've not quite given up with Steven Regal yet, but I just don't think it's going to happen for him in this save. He didn't do well without script either. 43 rating. Yeah, not much more to say about that, I don't think. Eddie Guerrero catches Sting's eye backstage as he comes out or he prepares for the triple threat match, and he kind of gets in Sting's face and he says, I do not want you interfering in this match. Do not. How dare you? Do not dare getting involved in my match and ruining my chance at a world championship match. Sting kind of bites back and they just sort of argue for a little bit, and Sting just says, no one's going to need my help against you anyway. We'll kind of leave it at that. 68 rating. Let's get into the main event then. 73. Okay, could have been worse. I know. I realise I've got 1 major star here and 2 stars. Let's go through it first. Fantastic heat and great wrestling. Diamond Dallas Page defeated Chris Jericho and Eddie Guerrero in 17 minutes 13. And Diamond Dallas Page pinned Chris Jericho with a diamond cutter following a botched interference from Buff Bagwell. Buff Bagwell trying to hit Diamond Dallas Page, probably with a chair or some sort of foreign object, whatever, accidentally gets Chris Jericho. So he's going to be angry at that. I imagine Eddie Guerrero isn't going to be best pleased either. Yeah, the idea here was just to have a different main event, and I thought this might be quite cool. Okay, I don't often do this sort of thing. You know, the winner of this match will face so and so next week, or whatever. So Diamond Dallas Page will face the winner of the Bret Hart Hollywood Hogan title match at Halloween Havoc. So, does that sway your predictions on who is going to win that title match? 78 wrestling, 74 crowd, 73 segment rating. Maybe went on a bit too long, lack of psychology in the middle, but it's okay. Creative finish was a success. The Diamond Dallas Page and Buff Bagwell storyline did gain heat. That's all good stuff. I'm not over disappointed. Would have been nice to have got a bit more. But as I was saying before I went through the result, yeah, 2 stars and 1 major star. I did think there was a couple of other people I was thinking about putting in this match and winning it actually, but that's what I went with. 73. I'm not going to beat myself up about that though. And then post match, Diamond Dallas Page calls out Hogan, and they argue because Diamond Dallas Page, maybe he thinks it's Hogan he's going to face. Maybe he thinks Hogan is going to get the better of Bret Hart at Halloween Havoc. And then Bret Hart comes out and he says, "Don't forget about me. There's 2 in this match at Halloween Havoc. I'm confident I'm going to win the belt, and it'll be me facing you next week at Monday Night Nitro." And then Hogan and Bret brawl. Well, we've got to finish with a brawl, haven't we? This is literally the last segment before Halloween Havoc. So overall rating of 84. Yeah, quite pleased with that. Let's see what we get for the show then. 77. I think I've got to be pleased with that. Anything high 70s, really. I would like to see us start getting some 80s, but no, that's good. I'm happy with that one. Financial report. It's Nitro, of course. We earned money, not quite as much as last week, but just over 300,000. The popularity report. Okay, not too bad. Couple of emails to look at then. Bret Hart opinion: Buff Bagwell needs to learn how to sell. Yeah, I'm not completely sold on Buff Bagwell. He's doing better in this save than he is in the Invasion angle series, though. But I mean, he's not someone I'm looking to main event anytime soon. Diamond Dallas Page says Rey Mysterio Jr. doesn't connect with the fans. Okay. And Nitro figures. Right. Yeah, that's going to be it. I'm not going to go into anything else. Oh, actually, before I sign off, you've got to do your predictions. I'll get the card up and you can take a look. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think is going to happen. We have the WCW World Heavyweight title on the line. Hollywood Hogan, the current champion, takes on Bret Hitman Hart. And the United States title also on the line as Booker T takes on Chris Jericho. And the Tag Team Championships, Faces of Fear, will defend against the Dudley Boys. We've got a 6-man tag. Mortis and Wrath and the Demon team up to take on Mystery X, which is Six and Rey Mysterio, and they team up with Chris Benoit. We've got Rob Van Dam and Rick Steiner taking on Totally Perfect. We've got Eddie Guerrero up against Sting. Those two have been feuding for a while now. Big Van Vader, his big return to WCW pay-per-view, will take on the Giant in a bit of a battle of the Giants, I guess. Bam Bam Bigelow takes on Diamond Dallas Page in a rematch from a Nitro match a couple of weeks ago. Goldberg will take on La Parka. La Parka looking to make a name for himself. Can he be the one to break the streak? Norman Smiley will take on Sid Vicious. That's just kind of let's get Sid on the card. So get your predictions in. Let me know who you think is going to win, lose, or draw. And I think I'm going to end it here. Take care of yourselves, everybody. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.